That might be my favorite.
All right, folks, so if you are absent or if you are a part of the B cohort, this screencast is going to help you figure out what to do in this brainstorm document. It is a pretty beefy document because rhetorical analysis, like I've mentioned in class before, is probably going to be the hardest paper that you will write in this class, and there's a lot of bits and pieces that go along with it. So here we go. So first, notice that right here at the top, I put the prompt that I gave you guys in your handouts last week. It is exactly the same, okay, but I put it right here at the top so that you know exactly what you are answering in this essay, okay? Underneath this, part 1 says, list the 2 parts of the prompt that you need to answer. There are, in fact, 2 parts, right? The prompt isn't asking you to look for a rhetorical device and to define it, right? The prompt is asking you to analyze how MLK uses those rhetorical devices to portray his ideas about dreams. So there's 2 parts of that prompt, and I want you to list them both right here for part 1. In part 2, this says take notes because my A group is going to discuss this in class, but my B group, or absent people, right, think about this on your own. MLK uses the word dream throughout his speech. What is its intended effect or purpose, right? Try to think of at least 3 ideas. What is he trying to tell us about dreams? That they are achievable, right? That they are far-fetched. And I just gave you 2 things to talk about so you can come up with your third. In part 3, you're taking a closer look at the devices that you found in your annotations of the Gettysburg Address. Remember, I gave you that document last week in that big old pile of handouts. So one of those was, I think I just called it the Gettysburg Address. One of them is I Have a Dream. So look at your annotations, look at the different devices you found, and I want you to list 5 that you found and provide the quote for that device. In part 4, oops. I want you can just copy everything that you just took from that chart with the device and the quote and connect it to the thoughts on dreams. So come back to this idea in this box, right? What was he trying to say about dreams, and which of those quotes supports that idea about dreams? So you have a couple of choices. You can either write about the same point about dreams and provide 2 or 3 different rhetorical device examples to back up your claim, or you could come up with 3 or 2 different things you thought MLK was saying about dreams and provide a device to support each of those statements. It's up to you. From here, you're going to pick 3 of those devices. So pick the 3 that you like the best or you think you can talk about and analyze the best. And you're going to fill out this section below the chart. The first moment you chose to consider is number, right, tell me in the chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. In this moment, MLK is what, right? Provide some context of the moment that happens with the quote that you want to include. MLK's ideas about dreams are reflected or represented by or are clearly supported by this use of the rhetorical device that you found. And again, remember you found it in your chart. Because, and then explain what was being compared or exaggerated or repeated, right? So tell us, right, that device supports his idea about dreams in what way? And you're going to do that for your second and your third idea. In part 5, think, based on your analysis and thinking, what can you argue that MLK is trying to convey about dreams? Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1963 speech, I Have a Dream, King argues that dreams are what by using rhetorical devices such as what. So you are going to decide in this moment, right? Are you going to talk about one point about dreams or multiple? And list the devices that you chose to analyze. This statement will be your working thesis. So once you've written your paper and you've thoroughly analyzed the moments that you've chosen, you should be able to go back and refine it by asking yourself these questions. Is this an argument or a judgment? Does it express the idea MLK wishes to convey of his view of the world or a revelation about human nature? Is it insightful or interesting? Does it avoid making specific references to well-known historical facts, meaning is it general? And have I proven it with my analysis of the moments found in the speech itself? Then part 6 is where you get to the actual outline. So now that you actually have an answer to the prompt and you know what you want to write about in regards to those rhetorical devices, you can start to work through this outline. So you can basically follow the prompts that I put in each of these boxes. And in the body paragraph boxes, I ask for your topic sentence. That basically means that you need to tell us what this paragraph is about, right? What idea about dreams are you writing about, and what rhetorical device are you going to mention? Then you can provide context to the quote. You can give us the quote itself from the speech. And then you can explain and analyze that quote and relate it back to your thesis, right? So again, if you're going to talk about how MLK uses repetition, you need to relate that back to what his overall idea about dreams is, right? How is he using repetition to support his ideas about dreams? So the same thing is repeated for body paragraph 2 and 3. I made body paragraph 3 optional. Rhetorical analysis is hard, so if you want to push yourself for this third paragraph, go for it. But if you'd rather keep it body paragraphs 1 and 2, that's fine too. Then in your conclusion, again, review the points you made, but you can just follow the instructions I put in the box. Then part 7, right, and you guys get a few days to do this, but it just means, hey, like we've done in the past, take what you wrote in these brainstorm boxes and put it in a blank Google Doc, and that will exist as your rough draft. Do bring this rough draft with you to class on Wednesday if I see you on Wednesday, or Thursday if I see you on Thursday. And then we can look at your analysis, make sure we're actually analyzing the things we wanted to analyze, and we can do some peer editing as well. So there you go. If you've got any questions about anything, you guys know you can email me or Canvas message me. And if you really feel like you need help, remember, you can always set up a Google Meet with me if you are at home during third hour. All right, folks, that's it.